Get on the dance floor. Get on the dance floor. Get on the dance floor. Oh, 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 mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Today's a happy day, man. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, today is a happy day, and you can see me dancing already. So, yeah, so it's a happy day, right? You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome once again to another edition of the 7 days challenge. Today is going to be the last day of the 7 days challenge. But never to worry. I still have a lot more in store for you. So I'm sure that we'll still have a lot more time to interact and to share ideas on this platform, right? So be excited about that. All right. So on your screen, I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you can see it already, but yesterday we talked about. In fact, I think I want to do a quick rundown of what we have been talking about from day one, like a summary for everyone who may have not been a part of it hitherto, who is just joining us for the first time, or you've been part of it, but then you just need to be reminded. So let's just do a quick rundown of what we have been doing, right? So we started the first day, and the first thing we talked about was spirituality and the importance of it, right? And how important it is right now to, be spiritual, right? I didn't talk about religion. I didn't talk about religiosity. I talked about spirituality because there's a difference between religion and religiosity. Religion is the opium of the masses, right? But spirituality is actually the heartbeat of God. So there's a difference between religion and spirituality. Religion talks about activities, but spirituality talks about a relationship, right, between God and man. A lot of times, in fact, in Africa, I tell people that our one of our biggest problems is religion. Religion is one of our biggest problems, and that accounts for why we are about the most religious people on the face of the earth in terms of race, but at the same time, we are among the most underdeveloped, right? That is because true spirituality transforms, but religion doesn't transform. Religion, just keep recycling the same thing over and over again without any impact. So I call you to spirituality and not to religion, right? I call you to a relationship and not to an activity. That is what I call you to today, and that's what we talked about the first day. On that same first day, we also talked about personal development. So we talked about the importance of personal development and how that we should take it very seriously in this season. Right, this season affords us the opportunity to really reinvent ourselves, to really go back to the drawing board and put a lot of things that may have not been in place, right? So personal development is a primary essence because new skills are going to be demanded of you come post COVID, and it is only those who have taken time to develop themselves in this period, in this era, that would actually be the highest um, um, shareholders, if I might use the word, of that particular era. So the next day, which was the second day, we started off talking about habits, right? Habits, and I told you that it takes a period of time, about 21 days, to form a habit, and you can use that as well to break a habit. So it takes about 21 days to also break a habit. So if you do something constantly for 21 days, you're going to form a habit. If you do it constantly as well if you don't do it, constantly two for 21 days, you are most likely going to break that habit, especially if you now replace that habit with a new habit. A lot of times, the reason why people don't tend to actually develop the new habits they want to develop, or don't tend to do it, the reason why a lot of people don't break old habits, right, is because they want to break old habits, but at the same time, they want to leave their mind in a vacuum, and life doesn't happen that way. There is no vacuum in life, right? You are either making progress or you are retrogressing, right? So it's either here or there, it's either this or that, even if sometimes there are variations, but many times there are no vacuum in life, right? So if you want to if you want to break an old habit, then you need to look for a new habit to replace the old habit with. If not, you would just successfully break the old habits, but then return back to it. And you remember what the Bible says: seven more demons that are even stronger than the ones that left come back into it. And the habit that seemed to have left you, right, comes back and gets a stronger hold of you because you did not replace that habit, right? So that's something to take away from then. And also, that same second day, we talk about vision, dreams, and plans, and we talk about the importance of having a vision for your life for the next 14 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and as much as you can, for you to dream, look upward, look inward, look forward, and then birth a dream for your life, birth a vision for your life, right? Vision is the perfect future, is a mental picture of your perfect future. And I'm sure you've heard that you cannot feature in a future whose picture you haven't captured. So you have to properly capture the picture of where you are going to for you to be able to feature in it. That's how powerful vision is, right? Like, life does not happen by accident. You have to be deliberate about it, and you have to draw up accurate plans on how to take you to where you are going, right? Then the next day, third day, we talk about relationships, right? The importance of relationships in our lives, and we encouraged everyone to do a relationship audit, right? To do a relationship audit, to look at the people in their lives who are friends, the closest people to them, and then audit them. Are these people supposed to be here? Are they not supposed to be here? Because there are three kinds of relationships in our lives. So there are acquaintances, there are casual relationships, and there are intimate relationships, right? Some people who are at the intimate level right now may need to be transferred from intimate level to casual level. Some might need to be transferred from intimate level to acquaintances. Some on the acquaintance level need to be transferred from acquaintance to intimate relationships. Some from casual to intimate. So you just have to use wisdom to know exactly where this person ought to be. And it's not about being emotional. It's not about how long you've known the person, or how long you guys have been friends, or how much everybody around you knows them. No, it's about the value they're bringing and they're contributing to your life, right? And then we talked about family, and which is a type of relationship. So we said this is an opportunity for people to strengthen the bond, the family bond, right? And to make sure that they invest adequately into their families. One of the questions we asked is your family a first world nation or a third world nation? That question is important because your family is the most important nation in the world, on earth, right? And why is that so? Because your family is the production factory of the society, right? And then the next day we thought about goals, right? And the importance of setting goals. And we said if you've not set goals, you want to go back to the drawing board and begin to set goals, right? If you already have goals, beautiful. You want to go back to review those goals. A lot of times the reason people don't achieve their goals, like we said, is because they write down goals and never open their goal book till December, until January the next year. No, that's not how to go about it. And then you are surprised that you didn't achieve your goals. Yes, you won't achieve them because you were not deliberate about it. So you need to at least check up on your goals, review your goals at least once every quarter. At least once every quarter. If I'm to really advise you, I would say you do it once every month, right? You do it once every month. Always check up on, okay, what are the things you're supposed to do? Reminds you, it reinforces it, it motivates you, and then you get to work. For instance, the note in which I wrote my goals for the year is a note I use regularly, so it avails me the opportunity to always check it weekly. Even not if no more than that, right? So that is something you want to do. There was a thought about generosity, right? Extend the right hand of fellowship to people who might not be as privileged as you are in this season is very, very paramount, right? So you want to do that. And we said, no, it doesn't have to be money, right? It could be a word of encouragement, some form of care, love, that is coming from you to somebody else. Don't be selfish, right? Don't live your life for yourself. Don't selfish. Don't be selfish, right? So be generous as much as possible this season. Then the next day we talked about prayer, right? We talked about prayer. We talked about the prayer, and the effective fervent prayer of a righteous man makes much power available. Dynamic is working. So you need to be prayerful this season. You need to pray for other people. You need to pray for your country. You need to pray for the scientists on top of the matter, concerning COVID-19. You need to engage in prayer, heartfelt prayer this season. If you can, like I advise, do in two, in threes. It is very powerful when people are in agreement and they're praying there. They wield a lot of power, that is not available to just one person, right? So that's something you want to do. Okay, then we also talk about gratitude that same day, right? We talk about gratitude, being grateful for where you are, what you have, and where where you are right now in life. You want to be grateful for it. You want to be grateful. You want to make sure that you are not in bitterness. You are not complaining. We know that a lot of things might not be going as planned, but then there are some things that are going as planned. Because a lot of times I tell people more things are working in your life than things are not working. Every single time there are more things working in your life than things are not working. And I can always prove that to you. Time will not avail me. I'm proving it to you right now. More things are working in your life every single time that are not working. If you are only deliberate enough to look, right? Because what you look for or what you find is what you have looked for, and what you look for is what you find, right? So if you look for the things that are working, you will see them. If you are looking for things that are not working, that's also what you would see. So what are you looking for? What are you looking at, right? So those things would now determine if you would be grateful or if you would complain. But gratitude does a lot to your mental health and ultimately to your physical health, right? It's very, very important. And then we talked about yesterday, we talked about hope, right? We encouraged everyone to be hopeful that there is light at the end of the tunnel. This is not the end of the world. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. This is not the end of the world. This has happened before, and right, it has happened before now. Okay, in many variations, and then we came out of it. We're going to come out of this again, and I believe that you're going to come out of it. And you're going to come out of it stronger and better than you are right now. But you have to believe it. You have to believe it. You have to believe it. Put your vision in front of you, and then look beyond what is happening right now into the future, and inspire yourself to have hope. Then we talked about innovation, right? We talked about innovation, getting what you do right now better, into a better state, improving on what you do right now. That is what innovation is all about. Innovation, right? So this is a season where you want to tap into the very essence of your being and then best new solutions, right? We talk about parallel thinking. Parallel thinking is, of course, this is a tree, right? Parallel thinking is, how can I make something out of this tree? Then somebody is thinking, okay, I can make something out of it, and something beautiful out of it, and furniture is coming, and that's parallel thinking, right? So whatever it is right now that is available can be improved on. Don't have a closed mind, right? Be open to ideas, be open to newness, be open to innovation, right? Don't say, this is how we have always done it in our village, right? This is how our grandfather did it, this is how our father did it, and this is how I met it, and this is how I continue to do it. No, it doesn't always have to be like that. If there's an easier way, if there's a faster way, if there's a better way, that is what you should go for. And there's always an easier, a faster, and a better way to do things. That is what you should always think about. So how do I do this faster? How do I do it, make it easier for people? And how do I make this better? If that is your thinking, every time you would always get things better, right? And then you didn't see this yesterday, but I added it to the slide today. Innovate or die. Innovate or die, right? Innovate or die. The human being, the human race, right, is a human race. Like I said, God created us for progress, right? We were not created for stagnancy. That is why it is normal for every human being to feel uneasy, uncomfortable when they are in a stagnated position or situation, right? We react to stagnation. So we are created for progress, and that means that we are created for innovation, right? We are created to make things better. That is how God is, and that is how we have been created. And you need to innovate or die, right? You need to innovate or die. You need to innovate or die, because people are moving, the world is moving, and you need to move in that same pace, right? You need to move in that same pace. So if there are things you need to learn, please go to learn them. For instance, you know that you cannot survive in the job market, or right, if you cannot survive in the workplace right now, if you don't have basic IT skills, right? If you don't have basic social media skills, these are things that were not required 10 years ago. These are things that were probably not required 7 years ago, right? But they are of a very much important essence right now, because that is how fast the world is moving. In the next 5, 10 years, there are more skills that will be required, right? There are many skills that are important for the 21st century, and you need to be able to begin to acquire some of those skills, right? So that's what we need to do: innovate or die, right? Those are the only two options that you have, and I'm sure you're going to innovate. So very quickly, we're going to share two things finally for today, and then we would call it a day, right? Okay, so right, so the first things we're going to be sharing today is rest, rest. And this is so important. A mentee of mine, was trying to be braggadocious with me about how hard he works, some years back, and how little he sleeps, right? So he came to me and told me that, that he sleeps for about 3 hours each day, and expected I was going to pat him on the back and tell him about how impressed I was, about how hard he was working and stuff like that. But he ended up disappointed. Yes, as I told him that he might die soon, might kill himself very soon if he keeps working that way and resting very little, right? And he was surprised, was perplexed about how I could say such a thing. But that's the truth. That's the truth. Because a lot of times some things have been underrated. Something as good as sleep has been underrated. So we are told that if you are sleeping too much, your destiny is going fast. I was reading one book one time, and they were calculating the number of times you would have slept by the time you got to the age 70. If you sleep such a number of hours per day, right? Why I don't subscribe to oversleeping, I don't also subscribe to undersleeping. So life is all about balance. I tell people, balance is the key to life. Balance is the key to life. A lot of times people tend to go into different extremes. So they're either on one side of the pedestal, or they are on the other side. No, you have to always look for the balance. The balanced person is the person with the true strength. So a lot of times people want to be on one or either side of the divide, but no, you can be in the middle, right? So it doesn't always have to be this or that, right? It can be this and that, right? It doesn't always have to be here and there. It can be here and or here or there. It can be here and there. What that means is that you need a, 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 a required amount of sleep per day, to be able for your cells to be regenerated. That's one of the things sleep does. Sleep helps you to rebuild and repair, worn out cells. It helps build your immune system. And we know, of course, that the immune system is very important even in the fight for COVID-19. So sleep helps you to be able to build your immune system and many other functions of sleep. So you need a very good amount of sleep per day, right? Every day. I know that there are times in your life when you won't have enough sleep, right? But balance it up. So there should also be times in your life where you take an adequate amount of time to sleep. Is very important. So experts have said, for instance, that we need 6 to 8 hours of sleep daily. 6 to 8 hours of sleep daily. So if you're not getting this amount of sleep daily and you're an adult, you need to make that the adjustment. If you're a teenager, you need about say 8 to 10 hours of sleep daily. If your child needs about 10 hours to 12 hours of sleep daily, right? That's how the body is supposed to work. But this is not an excuse to be lazy. This is not an excuse to oversleep, right? No, 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 no. If you plan yourself adequately, you would. A lot of times, the reason why people are even overworked is because of poor planning, right? So the times they're supposed to do some things, they're not doing it. They're doing something else, and then when their time to sleep, they want to cover up for the wasted time and all of that. So if you plan appropriately, you should be able to sleep well. So rest is very important, and I'm sure that the compulsory vacation a lot of us have had to go on has availed us that opportunity to rest, even if some of us have not been resting so much, been working. But then you need to understand the importance of rest. And I want you to understand that there's a difference between rest and sleep, right? So while I talk about so sleep and rest are two different things, because you can be sleeping without resting, and you can be resting without sleeping, right? So because that accounts for why sometimes you're sleeping, your mind is still wandering, you're having all kinds of dreams and the rest, because your mind is not at rest, your mind is not at peace. So rest talks about the total relaxation of your spirit, soul, and body, right? That is what it's talking about. So it talks about quieting your mind, right? So sometimes, and that's what meditation helps you to do. The art of meditation is so powerful, so powerful. A lot of times, we don't even get to practice it. I know that we are taught in our religious settings that we should meditate, but a lot of times we are not being taught correctly about what meditation is, right? Because a lot of people, religious people I've met, don't understand what meditation is. Some of them have never meditated in their lives, right? So meditation starts from, first of all, quieting your mind. That's where it starts from. Quieting your mind, making sure that your mind is focused on a particular thing. And that's why yoga is very powerful, right? Very, very powerful, because it helps you to quiet your mind. That's why exercise is also very powerful, because it helps you to quiet your mind. So you need to be able to do that in order to attain adequate amount of rest. So we need that in this season. And to juxtapose that is play play. you know um my mentor would say that the problem of the world is an adult. That's why we have, from the word adult, we have adultery, we have adulteration. And he said the solution to that problem is a child, right? And that's why even Jesus said, allow the little children to come unto me, right? And one of the characteristics of children is play, right? Children are known for play. And that's why I tell people, you don't expect a child to be too serious. When a child is too serious, then you should actually be worried, because I know a lot of times adults expect children to be serious at the age of 2, at the age of 3, at the age of 5. No, you don't expect a child to be serious at that age, because even you, were you serious at 3? Were you serious at 4? Were you serious at 5? When I want to get agitated at children, sometimes when they're playing around me and I want to get upset, I just cast my mind back to when I was a child. And I know I gave a lot of trouble when I was growing up. I know I was really, really playful, and I was all over the place, and people always complained and shouted, "Miracle, you're disturbing." I remember those times. So that helps me to, cut them some slack, to say, okay, I was once here. Because a lot of times we behave like we have never been children before, right? And that's why many of us are even troubled adults. We claim to be serious, but we are battling with a lot of issues, a lot of internal issues, because some of us even became adults too early, because of the adults in our own life, right? So the lot of adults, in our lives conformed us and molded us into adults too early, right? And it has affected our esteem. It has affected a lot of things about us. That's exactly what happened to somebody like Michael Jackson, for instance, right? So you need to take some amount of time to even play as an adult. So if I ask you, when was the last time you really played? What would be your answer? Because some of us can't even remember. You can't remember the last time you played. You can't remember the last time you were a child, right? You can't remember, right? You because every one of us has that deepest part of us that is yearning, right, for exploration. You need to be able to tap into that part of you. So you need to play. It's okay to play. You don't have to be serious every time, right? Because play has numerous amount of advantages, and you want to maximize it, right? You have only one life. You need to live that life to the fullest. You need to enjoy yourself, right? So engage in play. I'm not saying be reckless. I'm not saying engage in, I'm not saying engage in adult play, but engage in useful play. Engage in play, that helps you to rejuvenate and all of that. So I know a lot of us have not really played, even in this period of lockdown, COVID-19. Some of us have not really even played. We've just been serious, always with our phones, but you want to take out time to play. You want to take out time to play because it will do you a lot of good. It will do you a lot of good, right? So having said that, I want to welcome you to the last. Oh, am I welcoming you now or telling you bye bye? Okay, so this is the end of brings us to the end of the 14 day or the 7 days challenge, right? And you can see it is the end. I'm deliberately typing it right now so that you can see it. So it is the end of the 14 days challenge, right? And I'm sure that you've had a nice time. If you've enjoyed this, if this has been useful for you in any way, please don't forget to share with your loved ones, with your family and friends. Don't forget to share this forward to everybody around you, and make sure that they plug into this, listen to it. I will be uploading this on my YouTube channel, Miracle Catching Home. So you could check me up on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading this on the channel as well, so that you can always go there and watch and recommend it to as many people as possible too. All right, like I said, I'll be coming your way again pretty soon. So this is the end of the 7 days challenge, but just stay put because you'll be seeing my face very often. Thank you so much for joining me this 7 days. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. I really appreciate them. Thank you so much. And I value you and I love you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. Much more than everything, make sure that you put into use the things that we've shared and that you've learned in these 7 days. Because all what ultimately matters is not what you hear, but what you do with what you hear. So knowledge is potential power. Knowledge is not power. It is the application of knowledge that is power. So go ahead and apply the things that you've learned, and I'm sure you see significant results. All right, to end this, I'm going to be playing a song by Two Face, Idibia, Dance Floor. So I want you to dance wherever you are as we bring this to an end. Okay. Yeah, can you hear that? Yay. Yeah. All right, get on the dance floor, man. Oh, 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 oh. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Have a nice time, man.